Okay, let's dive into a topic that, well, it resonates with millions learning English.
Hmm.
For so many people, it's more than just picking up a new language, isn't it? It feels like unlocking, I don't know, a new level of connection and opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think about how many individuals are on this journey right now, really seeking that fluency. So today, we're looking at a specific source. It's a step-by-step guide written precisely for someone starting from scratch, you know, aiming for confidence in speaking.
That's right. And this source material provides a very um, clear blueprint. It's particularly focused on the absolute beginner who might feel completely overwhelmed and maybe unsure where to even start.
Right.
So our mission is this deep dive is to explore this guide, unpack its core principles, and, highlight the most actionable steps for you.
We want to understand why this guide makes such a case for English and, crucially, extract its practical roadmap for mastering oral communication, even if you're starting with absolutely zero experience.
And the guide essentially breaks down into two main parts:
Hmm.
the motivation, the why, and then the practical path, the how.
Got it. So let's jump into that why first. The source really makes a powerful case, doesn't it, for dedicating the time and effort.
It does.
It points out the obvious, perhaps, but it's fundamental. It's a truly global language, spoken in over 70 countries, the most widely learned second language
Right?
globally.
Yeah.
And what that means for you, the listener, is it immediately expands your world for travel, for study, for connecting with people across all sorts of different cultures.
And what's particularly emphasized in the source, I think, is how this global reach translates directly into tangible opportunities,
Yeah.
real-world benefits.
Like what specifically?
Well, it's highlighted as a critical tool for academic and professional growth. Think about accessing cutting-edge research, participating in international conferences, applying to global universities, pursuing advanced training.
Right.
A lot of that happens through English. So this directly impacts your potential for higher education and potentially better career paths down the line.
And you just can't ignore the digital world, can you? The internet, the guide notes, almost 60% of online content is in English.
60%, that's huge.
Yeah, software interfaces, apps, tech documentation, they often come out in English first. So engaging fully with technology, with that vast landscape of information online, it just becomes significantly easier.
Absolutely. And beyond the sort of purely practical, the source also touches on the social and cultural benefits. It's framed as a gateway.
A gateway. How so?
A gateway to a massive library of books, films, music, online communities. Learning the language isn't just about, functional communication. It's about connecting with people on a deeper level, maybe understanding different cultures more directly through their media and online presence.
That makes sense. And finally, the guide brings it back to the personal level, that sense of empowerment and confidence it gives you.
Hmm.
Mastering a new skill, especially one like this with such practical application, it just offers a significant sense of achievement. It can really boost your confidence when you're expressing yourself or navigating international settings.
And if we connect all that to the bigger picture, what the source is effectively arguing is that English, in our interconnected world, isn't just another skill. It's really a key to access.
Access.
Yeah, access to information, access to culture, access to opportunities, and maybe even access to a stronger, more confident sense of yourself. It really ties those external benefits directly to internal personal growth. That's a powerful motivator, I think.
It really is. So that covers the why, some compelling reasons to get started. But as you said, the source doesn't stop there. It gets that knowing why isn't the same as knowing how.
Exactly, especially when you're starting from zero.
Right. So this blueprint then dives into a really practical, actionable 10-step guide, and it's specifically designed for the absolute beginner.
This is where the rubber meets the road, really. For someone who's never learned English, the big question is always, okay, where do I even begin?
Yeah, it's daunting.
It is. And this guide provides a very structured sequence, focusing on building blocks in a logical order. It really tries to address that initial feeling of being overwhelmed.
Okay, so step one. The guide starts by emphasizing input, like tuning your ear to the sounds and rhythms of English. It calls this step one, building the foundation through listening and understanding.
Listening first.
Yeah, the goal here is simply immersion, just absorbing the language without the pressure to actually speak it yet. It suggests things like beginner-friendly content, English cartoons, simple YouTube videos maybe with subtitles on audiobooks or podcasts designed for kids or ESL learners.
English as a second language learners.
Right. The core principle here is focus. Just prioritize listening and understanding above everything else at this stage. Don't worry about speaking.
And what's insightful about starting with listening, I think, is that recognition that you need to build an internal sense of the language first. You know, how it sounds, how sentences flow, before you can really effectively begin trying to produce it yourself. It's like priming your brain.
Okay, priming the brain. Then from there, the guide moves on to getting the basic building blocks. Step 2 focuses on learning basic vocabulary and phrases.
The essentials.
Exactly. We're talking about the absolute must-haves here, those high-frequency words, everyday expressions that let you handle simple introductions or basic needs.
Like, hello, thank you, where's the guy? That kind of thing.
Precisely. The guide recommends practical methods like keeping a vocabulary notebook, maybe learning with pictures or actions to make it stick, and focusing on useful groups of words like greetings, family, common objects. The target isn't thousands of words right away, but maybe the first few hundred most useful ones.
And that focus on high-frequency, practical vocabulary is so crucial. For a beginner, knowing the most common words unlocks the ability to understand and form simple sentences much, much faster than trying to learn obscure words. It's all about efficiency and immediate use.
Makes sense. Okay, next, the blueprint tackles grammar, but, and this seems important, with a critical caveat. Step 3 is understanding basic grammar, but not over-focusing.
Right, that caveat is key.
The goal isn't getting lost in complex rules. It's understanding how simple sentences are put together, basic word order, how subjects and verbs connect, simple tenses. The guide advises using beginner resources and, importantly, just practicing making maybe 5 or 10 simple sentences daily.
Keep it practical.
Yeah, the principle is clear. Apply the basics practically rather than getting bogged down in theory.
And this emphasis on practical application over deep theory, especially early on, is such a wise approach the source highlights. Getting stuck in complex grammar too soon, that can be a major barrier. It can just kill your motivation. Simple structures are absolutely enough to start communicating.
Okay, so now we get to the bit many learners are really keen on, but maybe also most afraid of, actually speaking. Step 4 is starting to speak slowly, but regularly.
The big hurdle.
It is, and this step directly confronts that fear. The guide offers some really low-pressure ways to begin. Speaking to yourself, maybe describing what you're doing out loud while looking in the mirror. I am brushing my teeth.
Sounds a bit funny, but it works.
Yeah. Then, gradually, practicing with a patient partner, a friend, a teacher, or even using voice recording apps to just get used to hearing yourself speak English. And the vital message here, don't worry about mistakes.
Absolutely critical.
Mistakes are inevitable, they're necessary, they actually help you learn. Speak more and more.
This step is so fundamental because it tackles that psychological barrier head-on. The source correctly identifies that just passive learning, listening, and reading isn't enough to develop fluency. You have to start activating the language.
You have to use it.
You have to use it. And starting in those low-stakes environments, like talking to yourself, it's a brilliant tactic to build that initial courage.
Building on speaking, the guide introduces what it calls a real turning point in the learning journey. I like that phrase. Step 5 is thinking in English.
The internal shift.
Yeah. This means consciously trying to form thoughts directly in English, bypassing that mental translation step from your native language.
Which is hard at first.
Oh, for sure. The guide suggests simple daily habits, like just look around you and describe things. This is a red pen. Mentally narrate your day or plan your day. I will go to the market. Or even keeping a very short diary, maybe just 3 to 5 lines daily in English.
I really agree with the source that this is a critical shift. Moving from constantly translating into English to actually processing and generating thoughts in English, that's a massive leap towards real fluency. And the methods suggested, those simple internal descriptions or short written notes, they're very accessible ways to cultivate this habit every day.
Okay, so once you're starting to form thoughts and speak a bit, the next natural step is interaction, right? Step 6 is learning to ask and answer questions.
Getting conversational.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is about building that ability for two-way communication. The guide recommends practicing common question and answer pairs like, where do you live? I live in. And engaging in simple role plays or mark conversations. The key seems to be repetition, just making those basic exchanges more automatic.
Yeah, and this step moves you towards actual dialogue. It improves not just your ability to construct sentences, but also your listening comprehension when you have to understand and respond in real time.
Right, listening becomes active. Now, as you get more comfortable with basic interaction, the guide suggests refining your language. Step 7 is expanding vocabulary and improving pronunciation.
Moving beyond the basics.
Yeah, now the focus shifts to adding a bit more richness and clarity. Things like looking for synonyms so you don't keep repeating the same words, like saying glad or excited instead of just happy all the time.
Good point.
Using online dictionaries that have audio guides for pronunciation, and actively working on imitating native speaker sounds and intonation. Maybe watching videos first with subtitles, then trying without.
Adding synonyms definitely allows for more nuanced expression. And focusing on pronunciation helps with intelligibility, being understood, which can significantly boost your confidence when you actually talk to people. Imitation is just a classic technique because it trains your ear and your mouth together.
Ear and mouth, yeah. So, with these building blocks getting stronger, the guide emphasizes putting it all together in daily life. Step 8, using English in real life.
Taking it out of the classroom, so to speak.
Exactly. This is about moving beyond just practice exercises and actually applying the language in authentic situations. The suggestion is to start small.
Always start small.
Right. Simple interactions like ordering food, asking for directions, making a small purchase in a shop. Then, as your confidence grows, maybe move to larger interactions like joining group discussions or even using English on social media.
This step really closes the loop, doesn't it? Taking the skills you've developed in perhaps isolation and testing them out in the real world. And the source's advice to start with those small, manageable situations is absolutely key to preventing discouragement and just building momentum. You need those early wins.
Definitely need those wins. Okay, drawing towards the end of the blueprint now. Step 9 is about continuous improvement, getting feedback, and correcting your mistakes.
Learning from experience.
Yeah. The guide stresses how important it is to have maybe a teacher or a patient friend point out errors, but also developing the ability to self-correct by recording yourself speaking and listening back carefully. And there's a powerful insight here about mindset.
What's that?
It's about viewing corrections not as criticism, not something to be ashamed of, but as valuable data points for learning. Your best teachers, it says.
That reframing of corrections is so crucial. Embracing mistakes, seeing them as part of the process, that's a hallmark of effective learning in pretty much any skill.
Yeah.
And the source wisely highlights it as vital for progress in language learning, too. Don't shy away from feedback.
Don't shy away. And finally, the culmination, but also the ongoing process. Step 10 is building confidence and keep practicing.
Bringing it all together.
Yeah. The guide emphasizes that confidence isn't something you just wait for, hoping it appears. It's a result of consistent action.
Earned, not given.
Exactly. Believe in your potential. Set small, achievable speaking goals. Something like, okay, today I will speak for 1 minute without stopping. And make a point to celebrate your progress, however small it feels. Practice, not perfection, is what drives confidence.
The source correctly points out that confidence really emerges from doing. By consistently applying these steps, by setting and conquering those small challenges, you build the self-assurance you need to become a more fluent and effective communicator over time.
So if we were to summarize the core philosophy we've drawn from this source, it's something like, start by immersing yourself through listening, get those essential basic words and sentence structures down, then courageously begin speaking daily.
Even if it's just to yourself at first.
Right. And consciously make that shift to thinking directly in the language.
Wow.
Then integrate it into real life, actively seek feedback, and always remember that consistent practice is the real path to confidence.
Yeah, the guide ultimately leaves us with a message of empowerment, I think. English is presented as a gateway, and fluency is shown as attainable. It takes dedication, yes, daily practice, absolutely, and the courage to step outside your comfort zone, starting right where you are, even from zero.
It's a really encouraging perspective, isn't it? Especially for someone who might be feeling overwhelmed at the beginning of what feels like such a huge undertaking. It really highlights that everyone starts from zero, and it emphasizes believing in your own capacity to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And building on the source's emphasis on daily practice, and particularly that really interesting idea of the turning point being when you start thinking directly in English.
Yeah.
Maybe here's something for you to consider. How might the very act of mentally narrating your day, describing the world around you in this new language, even just silently, in your head, how might that fundamentally reshape your perception, not just of the language, but of that world itself, and maybe even your place within it?